Ladies and gentlemen, pay close attention. This video does not end until I find my next 5-star book. In order for me to find my next 5-star read, it must follow the 3 following criteria. My jaw on the floor, make me walk around for days thinking about the life for the characters after the last page, and recommend the book to everyone under the sun. So what better way to find my next 5-star read than with a challenge? Now, if you watched my previous video, then you would know that I intend to read 6 books before 2026. Now, is there a possibility I will not find my next 5-star read in this video? Yes, but I'm not gonna let that stop me. Let the games begin and may the best book win. It is now time to start book 1. Technically I started it last night, but the title is Back at 1 by G5. This is the second chance romance that I found on the collection of free books from Bray 2025. And to say that I'm excited to read this book is an understatement. As all second chance romances go, someone tends to leave the relationship prematurely and without any explanation, and that is exactly what Amina did to Mr. Milan. I will say she did it for good reason, because her mother passed away and she wanted to go home and be with her brother so that they can grieve together. But the way that she did it and executed it was not tasteful, and it left a bitter taste in Milan's mouth. But he definitely understands. So nearly a decade later, he is going to Atlanta because he is an artist. So he is hosting an art foundation campaign, and you know he cannot get Amina out of his mind. So he's definitely going to see her while he's in Atlanta, and I know sparks are going to fly. I'm already at page 47, so let's continue reading. Amina has a best friend and her name is Brandy, and she has turned into Amina's sister-in-law, and I can tell the two of them are soul sisters, and Brandy definitely holds Amina accountable for the actions that she has taken in the past. Love her. She's a girl's girl. It has been a couple days, but we have finally returned from the most magical place on earth, Orlando, Florida, and we went to a couple of the amusement parks in Disney, which was a lot of fun. We got to ride roller coasters. I got to read a little bit even while standing in the lines waiting for the rides, and that was a lot of fun. So here's an update. I have roughly 100 pages left, and the only thing going through my mind right now is the song Same Girl by Usher and R. Kelly. Messing with the same girl. If you have read this book, you will understand why I'm saying that. I finally reached a climax in the story where Amina and Milan have once again reconnected and reunited after nearly a decade. But Amina feels like deep down in her heart, she's not meant to be with Milan. She feels like that chapter has already finished and that book is closed, and she wants to move on with the guy, Chaz, who is the mystery chef that she's been dating since the beginning of the book. Now, there is a correlation between Chaz, Milan, and Amina, and that is all I will say. There is definitely a lot of yearning from Milan's side, because this man is truly in love with Amina and he will do anything it takes to get her back. I feel like Amina wants to be with Chaz because he is something new, he is something fresh, and they don't have any history together, and they've been going pretty solid since the beginning. Either way, this is all a lose-lose love relationship, love triangle, if you will, because somebody, if not a couple people, are going to end up getting their heart broken at the end of the book. It is the next morning and I just finished Back at 1, and I can honestly say it was a really solid read. It's one of those books that feels like it doesn't try too hard, and you can definitely tell that the characters are made to be messy, real, and tender, which is very believable. The storyline definitely moved at a steady pace, and although it was not action-packed because of course it is a romance book, you're still able to feel what the characters are feeling and care about everything that they're going through. I think what I like the most about this book is when I was reading it, it felt like I was reading someone's personal reflections, and everything that the characters went through at the beginning of the book, it definitely reflected the perspective of how they finish off the book and where those decisions took them on later in life. The writing was definitely smooth. It was easy to read. Definitely the pacing was great, and I will give this book a solid 3 stars. Moving on to book number 2, it is Bitter as Fuck by the Tasha Marie. I definitely need a palate cleanser, so this will be amazing because it is only 88 pages. This book will be all about sibling rivalry because there are a pair of twin sisters. One of them is doing amazing for herself while the other one is struggling to make her life even pop off. So the struggling twin basically wants to take matters into her own hands and rewrite the narrative so the plot is in her favor. I know there's going to be bloodshed. I know this is going to be a crazy short read, and this is what I'm here for. Without further ado, child, I can't believe I finished that book in an hour while my son was taking a nap yesterday. In this book, you follow 4 point of views. There's the twin sisters. The first one's name is Kiani. She's a twin sister that is doing wonderfully for herself and her husband Nasir. While on the other hand, there is Carmani, who's a sister that cannot get her life off the ground per se, and her husband Antoine. At the beginning of the book, there was a flashback to when the sisters were having a night out on the town and they were in the club, and the 2 gentlemen, Nasir and Antoine, who are best friends, decided to come up to them. One thing led to another, and now they are all in their own respective relationships. But the one thing that sets this whole story apart is that Carmani feels like her sister stole her man from her, and Nazir did not want her at all. He didn't even bat an eye at her when they were in the club together. So right there is red flag number 1. She is delusional, jealous, and envious of her sister. Now, the huge climax and catalyst in this story is that there is a situation that happened in Carmani and Antoine's relationship. I'm not going to spoil it because that is the whole premise of the book, but that one decision that Antoine made was the domino effect that led to the decision that Carmani made in the book. We all know that she wanted to rewrite her own plot to make herself seem victorious, but that is not how it went at all. One thing in the book that Kiani did say is sometimes blood is not thicker than water, and in this very case and in this scenario, I agree with her, because you cannot be blood, you cannot be twin sisters and tell me that you are jealous and envious of your sister. The only reason people are like that is because, number 1, their self-worth is down the drain, they don't love themselves, and they are not confident people. If you are true to yourself and you know who you are, you're not going to worry about the next person, whether they're blood related or a friend or even a stranger. So everything that happened to Carmani in this book, I do not feel bad for, because it is the own reflection of herself. Although I did enjoy this book thoroughly, my Kindle did not leave my hand until the last page was finished. It did not give 5-star feels, so therefore I'm giving it 3 stars. Moving right along to book number 3, still is a second chance forced proximity romance about 2 former best friends, Layla and DeAndre. After nearly a decade, they are forced to reunite after a tumultuous event. Now that they are forced to reconnect, they have to decide whether they want this friendship to continue as it once was and reconcile everything that happened in the past, or move along on their separate ways. This is yet again another novella. I love my short books to help me get to my goals, and it is under 100 pages. Karaya Cash always does good by me, so I have very good feelings about this book. This might be an unpopular opinion, but can we bring back books that actually have titles to their chapters? I love to see books like this because you actually know what you're getting into in the next chapter versus other books that just say chapter 1, 2, 3, etc. Like, this is so much more fun to see this. I don't think I would have the balls to tell someone I don't love them the same way that they love me, even though I know deep down inside I love them till the end of the world. And for Layla to tell Dre that she doesn't love him the same way breaks my heart. And that was only the prologue in the book. As soon as I got to the first chapter, the major event that was talked about in the synopsis just happened, and I kid you not, I almost started tearing up because it is so sad. So if this book is projected to go the way I think it is, you're gonna see me cry. Well, I'm not gonna record myself crying because I'm never gonna do that, but I will definitely cry 100%. I feel like I'm getting to the point in the book where the inevitable is about to happen, and I don't know how I'm gonna handle it, so this is my true raw reaction. Ladies and gentlemen, I fear that I have to make a confession. Last night, I was pondering on the book that I finished, and I have to admit, out of the 200 books that I read over the past 2 years, this is the one and only book that has actually made me cry, tears streaming down my face, boohoo crying, and oh my God, I was distraught. The best way I can explain this book is if you've seen the movie The Fault in Our Stars. When I got to the part of the book at the very end when Layla discovered the note that DeAndre had left for her while she was rummaging through his room, it is very similar and reminiscent to when Hazel read the eulogy that Gus had written her at the end of the movie. When I read the letter DeAndre left for Layla, I was beside myself. I was like, do not cry. You have never cried from a book before, but I definitely did last night, and I don't feel bad about it. It felt really good, actually. But what I can say is I was not expecting the book to be that sad. I did read the synopsis for this one, but I was just caught off guard from chapter 1 all the way to the very end of the book. And to be honest, I don't want to end this video on a bad note, so I'm going to rate this one a very strong 4.5 stars. I want to keep pushing and see what else I can read. So book number 4 is a romantic comedy. From what I've been told, this is a fake dating trope, and you follow the two main characters, Dion. Dion is a veteran basketball player who happens to get into some trouble, and he ends up in an anger management class. On the other hand, you have Sloan, who is a bartender who's living paycheck to paycheck, and she too does not have the best attitude, and they both land in the same anger management class together. I'm really excited to see where this fake dating goes. I don't really read much of these books at all. That's a dedication right there, bitch. You guys are long overdue for an update. Sorry, I've been MIA for a couple days. I've been working, and I had a lot of fun at the golf tournament that I did yesterday. Got to meet a lot of retired pro athletes, and that was a lot of fun. They were super sweet. But as far as defensive stance, this book is extremely funny. I'm glad I picked this up at the time that I did because it's exactly what I need right now. Over the last couple days, I've managed to read quite a bit, and I'm up to 70% in this book, and a lot of stuff has happened. A lot of crazy stuff, and I'm honestly here for it. I love it. The last time we talked, I told you guys that Dion and Sloan are in the same anger management classes because of the actions that they decided to take, which landed them there. One night, Dion decided to invite Sloan over to his house, and they did the do, but he let her stay there overnight, which he has never done to any of his rendezvous that he's encountered with. So the fact that he let a one-night stand stay at his house was very telling of him, because you can tell that he liked her from the jump. So while Dion is trying to figure out everything that is happening with his status on his basketball team, he was told from his management, in order for him to have good status in the public eye, it's a good idea for him to, maybe get a girlfriend, stay out of trouble, obviously, which is the main objective, and just keep his head on the straight and narrow. So he gets the idea like, I have Sloan in my life right now, so why not she and I fake date so that I can look good in the eye of the public, and that's just gonna be that. So Dion and Sloan decided to come up with an agreement. Initially, at the start of the agreement, he was gonna pay her $25,000 so that she can act as his fake girlfriend. So she would be going to Ramblers events with him, dinners, showing up to the basketball games, etc., just for the public eye. It's gonna be nothing more than that, so they say. At the end of the contract, whenever the season is finished, then she would get the remaining $25,000. So in total, she would be getting paid $50,000 just to be a fake girlfriend. If you ask me, that's a really easy bag to take. Obviously, Sloan obliged. She said, yes, we're only gonna fake date. It stops at the end of the season. It's not gonna be any more than what it is right now. So let's agree on it, and that's just what it is. But of course, as the book goes on, the two of them continue to spend time together. Dion eventually meets her son Ace, and they eventually grow a bond together. And also Sloan got to meet Dion's daughter, who's in college, and she and Destiny, that's the girl's name, got to grow a bond together as well. So that's the point I'm at right now in the book. I'm gonna power through and finish it while my son is taking a nap. I actually found the audiobook on Hoopla, which I am so grateful for. So I'm gonna sit down in my reading chair in the room, finish it while he takes like a 2-hour nap, and I'll get right back with you guys. Okay, I need you to sit down and listen, all right? This is important. I found my 5-star read and this video can now be completed. I loved every single aspect of this book and I can't wait to continue the series because Dion is an amazing person. He's genuinely so sweet and so caring and so loving once he gets his head on straight and he knows that women are just not objects and should not be sexualized in every facet. And he found a great woman in Sloane. She's an amazing person, although she does have her flaws because of how she was raised and she doesn't let people love her the way that she deserves to be loved, and that's all because of her mommy and daddy issues. And Dion has the same issues as well as far as parental issues, but Sloane was definitely a handful. She was a lot. She has a lot of baggage, but they're so polar opposites that they just mended so well. If you're looking for an amazing sports romance series, you need to pick up the Los Angeles Ramblers series. I cannot wait for 2026 to come around to see what amazing books I will discover. If you enjoyed watching my video today, then I definitely think you'll enjoy this video right here. So go click it, watch it, and I'll see you guys next time.